thank you for joining me for this emergency broadcast. I've made a grave mistake, everyone. So, if you paid attention in the welcome video, you will probably have heard me say that I have around 4,500 things to paint, counting all of the things coming in crowdfunding shipments later this year. And that's not wrong, except it is. So, I maintain a very big spreadsheet that I keep track of all of the sort of miniature and terrain pieces that I have, including those coming in future crowdfunding opportunities. Just, well, because I'm a nerd, honestly, I said it in the welcome video, it's true. I have a spreadsheet just to track all of this. It includes paint status, whether it's here or still awaiting shipping, where it's stored, as well as an individual number related to every single piece as a unique identifier. It's a whole big thing. And naturally, it is, a beast to maintain sometimes. I was going through that recently to kind of get a hold on how I wanted to approach everything and those sorts of things, and I realized there were some errors. So, particularly in the counts of terrain, some numbers were off, kind of artificially inflating the number of things that would need to be done. But the other thing that came to realization suddenly is that not all of the things that I'm crowdfunding are actually going to ship and arrive in 2025. And as you know, the deadline for this project is December 31st, 11:59 p.m. 2025. So there were a bunch of things that aren't even going to be here, that can't actually be part of the project, that needed to come out, specifically 281 items. So I did that. I adjusted the terrain numbers that were wrong for whatever reason, most of those being coming in from incoming Kickstarters and GameFound pledges, so I'm assuming there have been some fluctuations, changes, as one might expect. So, the good news is we have a very much more precise and a more reasonable-ish number of items for the painting schedule this year. That exact number is now 3,218 items. Yes, 3,218 little gray lumps of plastic that I will have to paint by the end of the year. Not have to, but it's the goal. That's what we're striving for, and we're gonna do it. I believe in us. Mostly you, but never mind that. So, with that, I did a little bit more math. And knowing that number, I'm glad that things shrunk, because with that number, just that number, in order to be successful, in order to have everything painted, I have to, since the start of February, paint an average of 10 things per day. Now, that math does include 20% lost time to, things like vacations and maybe getting sick, those sorts of things where I'll miss whole days. So that's 20% of whole day lost time on that. So giving me just, painting in the evenings and stuff like that. As you know, I have a full-time job. I'm doing classes. I would like to have a life outside of all that, and this, go outside on occasion. Not that it does me any good, but, mentally it's good for me. So, that's 10 things a day that we have to paint. Luckily, everything is currently assembled, though some days will definitely be lost to assembly once, say, Caves gets here in a couple weeks, as it's now preparing for shipping. So, with that knowledge, having finally kind of planned this out, I have to change tactics from my original plans. My original plan was to just have the full list, all of those unique identifiers in my lovely little spreadsheet, and do random number selection for what I would paint next. Just kind of let fate decide what was going to happen. If I want to be successful, project management wise, I cannot do that with this amount of things that I need to get through. So, new plan. we are going to try to crack through all of the small things, things that I am not inclined to take a huge amount of artistic interest in, really want to put a lot of hours into, and have my heart set on making them into something specific. Things that I can just speed paint for the tabletop, get done. Those will be kind of first up on the slates. Now, it is currently February, and the one thing that I really want to get done before Caves gets here, and I have a whole lot of other terrain, is to finally paint Woodhaven, which was Kickstarter from several years ago, from Dungeons and Lasers, Archon Studio. None of those are painted. I have 2 core sewer sets, the 2 ice caves, wooden cottage, torture chamber, warlock. It's somewhere around 8 or 9 different sets that need to be polished up, painted, all of that. I want to get that out of the way before Caves comes. I don't know how successful I'm going to be, as shipping will start next week for Caves. Hopefully I'll have a little primer for that. Then after that, we'll jump into the small things. We're going to try and batch paint out. And what I'm hoping that will do is give me a nice padded area at the end of the year where I can really delve into those projects that I want to spend a little bit more time on. Now, I have said that my goal is to finish, right, all of these things by the end of the year. That said, if it's getting down to crunch time and there are some things that I really have an artistic vision for and I want to make look really good, I'm not going to push it. But the goal is to finish by the end of 2025. And I think, given now that I really understand the scope of what I have taken on, subjected myself to, and now told the internet I want to do, I think I should give myself a little incentive. Maybe a reward for being successful. You know, as I've said, I'm not purchasing anything new until I get all of these done. Goal by the end of the year. So I think if I do that, I should treat myself. I really should. I think so. Other people will disagree, obviously. They will say that I have enough. They've clearly never bought dice or miniatures. So we'll see. I don't know. Maybe that'll be some of the models of miniatures that I have kind of on my wish list, which is also on that spreadsheet. Things that I really want. Most of them are somewhat larger, so that could be a good treat. Maybe we'll look at, you know, treating ourselves to some kind of tools. My 3D printers from years ago could maybe use an upgrade. We'll see once they actually finally get back up here to Maine from Georgia. Hopefully in the next month or so, see how those go. But I don't know. If you have ideas, thoughts, put them in the comments. Let me know what you think. What should I invest in if I'm successful? Treat myself to. You can even go and watch a few more videos, see where I'm lacking. I'm sure many of you will probably be able to find some things I could upgrade, maybe, you know, do a little better with. But yeah, so that's the story. That's our emergency broadcast for today, is that mistakes were made. Math was done wrong, which to anyone who knows me is no real surprise. And the countdown is on. I need to get cracking. 10 things on average per day for the rest of the year, with a little bit of catch up because I've been busy prepping Woodhaven and doing the final assembly on Deus Slayer. And work's been crazy, so yeah, I gotta get rolling, guys. Whew. Alright, well, wish me luck, and as always, take care of yourself and be good to each other. We can do this.